Tom. Maddox. So I tested the survey responses that Kevin did in Flood Adventure today.
Yeah.
And what he did, I really liked what he did. So to try to go into their repository in Flood Adventure to look at probably the latest change or something that.
Yeah.
Like, they're pretty well, and they got pretty good documentation too, so you can access all that. Okay. What he did was when you put the cursor over, let's say, you know how you have the statements going down.
Yeah.
Say you put your cursor over a statement, it turns blue. So every time your cursor goes over something, yeah, it turns blue. And so each row, everything like one at a time turns blue. And I really liked it. Gianna and I looked at it together today. It looked really nice. Right. Yeah, so I would
We all have that.
yeah. Cool. Hey Tom, how are you?
Okie dokie. Managing some dogs, so I'm not going to be settled for a little bit.
Okay. I'll text Zalong and Junior right now, let them know that we're starting.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
No. Wait, what is that?
That's a microphone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was. Somebody asked me to batteries.
They're in there.
Oh.
And we put them all away, yeah. Yeah, they should be,
Are any of them in this box? Like,
yeah, they're all charged. They're in the box. Yeah, they're in this.
somewhere out. I don't know about that.
Either in this box or that box.
And those are in there, should be charged.
So, yeah, they're probably gonna be maybe 80% or
It
something.
should be done.
Yeah, I don't know. The problem is when they touch each other, they could be less. They lose battery when they touch each other. So I'm hoping it'll be 20. All right, so Long said something here. He's like, in the building, seeing two. Okay, so he's coming. Yay. Okay.
He won't forget about it today. It was a break. I'm bleeding for break. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Campus is pretty empty today.
yeah, it is. I noticed when I drove up this morning, a lot less cars parked.
The bus is usually packed. Yeah. Not been packed. Empty.
No.
Is the port backing up? That's it.
Hi, Zalong. How are you? Hello. Oh, I forgot to respond in the email you sent that I responded yesterday to with the proposal.
It just happened to be that even I just keep popping up. I was out there thinking.
Yeah. No, what I was gonna say is, I can provide the participant information. That's easy. There was 18 participants. I have the SPSS with, yeah, I mean, it's coded and I have access to the code, so I can easily provide that. Not a problem.
Sure.
Yeah.
Try you try flipping the table.
Not the VR.
That would seems like weird. The sweetheart says edgy. It says edgy. I don't know. Let's do the other one. But
Careful.
this one is also edgy. And this one, novice. What does that mean? Oh, also says leader.
No, this one. Oh, maybe there's something written on the back of the edgy one.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I think it's them already.
Feels like I'm a little shorter than usual.
We don't see it.
Okay. We need to hit play.
Yeah. one change in the RPOCR.
Are we sharing this, the screen?
Are we recording?
Yeah, hi Junior.
Hi.
That's what it says here. Is the camera offset somehow?
We like the left controller doesn't seem to
Oh.
work enough. Got a battery in it. Nothing's happening with the,
Yeah, let me get put it.
actually, it doesn't matter, we have one at it.
Okay.
It'll all just be in the view.
Yeah, I should have thought to put some batteries in the charge.
You just go through.
Or did we not?
Wait.
I edited.
Was that?
Hang on a second, when I turn off the menu, wait. See this, I'm gonna turn off the menu and then.
Oh.
The tributaries are gone. Well, this is new,
New bug?
seems like a new.
It's always something.
Problems.
Is this the most recent change set?
Yeah,
Wait, I thought did I not check in? Players?
well. You have to trust me on this, we got probably 53 guys. Okay, yeah. See that?
Oh, good.
Yeah, I need to keep the menu.
Yeah,
open.
if you look at plastic, the most recent,
I'm not
I
sure
only see the
why it is
Jacobsburg
happening.
branch here.
I might
Never
have shelved
the
it.
main
Stays on.
21st. So,
Stays on,
I mean, if you shelved it, you could push it here.
Okay,
Good.
the problem fixed itself. Gonna have to look.
Oh, wait. No, yeah, there's no first. Yeah.
Well, this is one way to demonstrate that one. Palatable tributaries are back. Like, oh, I've heard. Unfortunately, there seems to be another bug.
Good, so I saw in the, sprint report, we changed the transparent to the coal mines to 75%. Can we take a look at that?
I pushed my changes from what I'm seeing right now, because it doesn't look like the layer order is updated.
We get those pushed now.
It's probably on the other computers and get.
Live from here.
We're taking a screen.
Alright, so we got some, so some changes were not pushed, coal mine changes. That's weird.
If you log into plastic, would it be there or no?
Unless you shelved it, it would be,
Probably low.
it's just gonna be local, yeah, on the live computer.
So for next, so next week's our last meeting, and then you have the expo on Thursday. So let's really make sure that everything gets pushed before we meet next Tuesday.
Yeah. You like it?
The other thing we're gonna want to do next week in this session is we're gonna label some nodes. Like look at the final version nodes that you have in your labels. Make sure everything's crystal clear for the next group, and that me and Gian can look at it. Because we tend to update between semesters, we'll update our documentation on the projects. Just for the latest change sets and nodes are. December 3.
Using the right stick to turn.
Yeah, I'm just using one hand right now.
So forward, okay, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, one hand.
What about diagonal?
You can't go.
Is there no diagonal?
No, no diagonal.
Yeah,
I mean, that's fine.
It
You go
goes-
forward and you turn.
you
I don't think
turn,
diagonal
then
makes-
On the diagonal, you do both at the.
Oh, okay. And it's not inverse now because it kind of was before, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The control scheme is all.
I'm not sure why the left controller is unresponsive.
Battery. Swap batteries.
Yeah,
So you can show off the one-handed controls now.
Yeah.
but then these things sometimes they start to get, range in the car that was. Charge
Oh, yeah.
Or the one-handed controls are the same.
So you fixed
Yeah, no matter what I do, I'm not gonna be able to like grab more.
how did you fix that? Did you just code it so that you can only
Thank
grab?
Yep.
Um,
Is it working? That left one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a battery. Yeah, there's batteries and left.
Is there a new script somewhere or is it just in
no,
setting?
it's,
That's
physics layer tag.
okay.
I read everything goes or something.
Oh,
Oh,
Ooh, yikes.
Oh my goodness.
That was, what's that about?
just a weird Unity error.
That's
I
when the
think-
system is overloaded. It's gonna crash Unity. You have to start again.
Okay.
Well, that's the first.
I've never had that happen.
I don't even think it was related to the project. Yeah, it was just the
I guess the
computer.
GPU decided to freak out.
I mean, it's a pretty good lab laptop. I'm surprised it even had issue.
Sometimes this happens because there is some function looping the code that keeps looping, and then it keeps adding until it explodes virtually. So the solution for that is for you all to use the profiler tool in Unity while you're playing, so you can see where the peaks of data and like CPU or GPU uses are happening.
I'm seeing a bottom left corner, a red arrow there in the console. Is that what I'm seeing? Something?
Yeah, texture in 2D, but depth is set to a non-default.
Have you all this past week been kind of clearing the console of errors?
A little bit.
A little bit? All right. So that's a to-do for next week,
Yeah.
okay? All right, and that's really important.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can still, wait, can you show picking up the net again with two hands? Okay. Nice. So weird.
Yeah, so you can't like.
Hmm.
Remember how you used to be able to like pick up two objects in one?
Yeah.
That's.
I won't do that anymore. Yeah, that's good.
Also,
yeah,
I'm
'cause
kicking it back.
Before you would like, oh, that's good. Yeah. You said, is it on the left trigger?
Yeah, it's on the.
Okay.
Trigger at the moment, but
Do you plan on making it on both, I guess?
yeah, right-handed.
That's good. I think that's a good like level of force too. Like they don't like go flying, you know?
Realist.
Yeah,
That's nice. So
it's pretty solid.
what are you doing right now? You're just
Kicking
kinda
rocks.
Kicking rock?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we have for that so far.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah, we're basically just gonna have the player do that, you know, like once and not be super picky about it. And then after that, the script will like detect that and it'll prompt you to kind of bring the net like to the location, play the cutscene.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, not too much
good how that
to
works.
demonstrate, but
No, it's great though. You got that working with the kind of kick motion. It's good.
yeah, in the last couple of weeks, we definitely improved the scene.
If we decide to turn off the Is it the vignette on the RTS map scene?
Yeah, for whatever reason, it just decided to disappear. And one of the change.
I mean, I actually disabled it, so I can re-enable it if we want. If we decide that's better for accessibility, I mean, we don't
Better
have it
for-
here, but I think here it's fine. We don't need it here because you're like grounded. But yeah, I mean, for that, we could put it there.
The junior mentioned it.
So I can re-enable it this week.
It's the first time I've pushed my changes all semester. For next week, I'll make sure.
The macro canvas is just always on. It won't be like that. Have it enable when it's supposed to. I'm gonna try to like,
Junior wasn't here last week to see, so hit
Oh.
that, click the sort so he can see what it looks like from the sort.
you might have to look up a little bit to.
Pretty
It's
nice,
really
huh?
nice.
Nice.
Was the array always white when it's on the camera?
What I think what I have to do is turn off, it's basically like you're supposed to not be able to interact with the canvas, like the actual canvas. Like the text part of it. I guess I just missed that setting for that canvas. But it doesn't really affect the functionality, but it's still something that should be turned off. Just because it's not as like, it'll be confusing if you're interacting with nothing basically. But
So since you didn't get to, Zara, you didn't get to show us the coal mines, how did it look? Like when you can get the transparency and stuff.
But much nicer because then you could see like the texture and like the color underneath.
So land use colors, you could see
Yeah.
underneath. Great.
Although, you could see the color, like the differences of the color, but not like
Okay,
as obvious as that.
I think it was good enough. Huh?
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
it was
all right, well, looking forward to seeing it next week.
Even before a meeting, I can push it and like maybe send a screenshot. or something.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a screenshot maybe in the diagram. I mean, it's holiday weekend, so you know, we're not. Why not? Pop it in there anyway, if you can get a screenshot.
We could also show our poster now, so we're pretty proud of this, so.
Yeah, well, let's make sure, yeah, we're happy to look at the poster too for, that's what you want to use the time today for. But that's pretty much all the updates for today.
for the scene, yeah. I
Scene,
mean,
yeah.
I didn't know, like we said, we made a lot of documentation
Yeah.
in the drive.
Yeah,
And
and that was the important thing.
Yeah.
Because we want y'all really to focus. these
And I
last
think
two-
we're starting to make more.
Yeah.
There's a little more we can do. But a lot of the important stuff we got out of the way, so.
Great.
prioritizing the console efforts.
Mhm.
The games, is it? Like, does it feel good using the unified controls between RGS and?
Yeah, for the most part, they feel the same. I feel like some buttons could be a rematch here. and there.
How does the left controller like control stick work? Is it, you can also turn, okay,
Yeah, both left and right sticks, they both do the same.
yeah, so you basically
Forward.
only move forward, it's just in the direction you're facing,
You can also.
which
do
is,
that.
oh, okay, I think that's totally,
I feel like now's a good time for like getting feedback to the control stick.
I mean, I think it's good. I know, Junior, what do you think about controls?
About the movement with the thumbstick?
Yeah, basically with both controllers, it does the same thing. You can, on either controller stick, you can move forward and backward. And you can also turn left and right by hitting left and right respectively.
On either one.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that accommodates both left-handedness and right-handedness, so that's
I
good.
can also do the same thing with the right.
I
Yeah.
think like this, in this case, the movement is not critical, just like in the map. And here we need to use our both hands, so we'll be using both controllers either way, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's just whichever, they're not forced to move with the left stick.
It's also,
Mhm.
I think it's nice to have the same controls for both.
Yeah.
Because it's just easier, you don't have to learn two different.
It also helps with testing. Like a lot of the times when I'm just trying to debug stuff quick or develop stuff, I don't feel like putting the headset like all the way on because I'm like constantly taking it on and off for stuff. So I like hold it with like one hand. So it lets you like use only one hand to actually testing. So it's nice.
Good.
Yeah,
The only thing, Maddox, that when you asked me, I was thinking about is about what people would prefer in terms of this movement, they would prefer the continuous movement or I forgot the name, that you,
teleporting.
no, you move the thumbstick and then the camera shifts 45 degrees.
Oh,
I
I know.
forgot about that name, those.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's something that we can do research, like comparing groups to see how they feel or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I find like, I guess for me, the continuous turning is more, it's not as like jarring, but some people that don't really play like games a lot might prefer it the other way. So yeah, that's something that like the next group could test, I guess.
Yeah.
And just kind of figure it as we go.
Yeah.
Next group.
Yeah. Did you have?
Yeah, I was thinking two controllers have the same function, maybe what they play, we just provide like one. We can choose like,
Yeah, it's just the thing with this.
You're gonna
team,
you have to.
it's like the two-handed net is like a big part of the.
And then that too, you're gonna need two, yeah.
But yeah, the only like downside with how the net's laid out is that we'll have to prompt them specifically to grab it with like their left hand on the left handle and then the right on the right. It's just because the way the attach points are set up. But I mean, I don't find that to be a huge problem. We'll just,
And
Do it.
where is the tutorial for the holding things again?
the what?
So how are you teaching the player to hold
Oh.
the stones?
You want me to start since no.
Because we work with this, we do this so many times that we totally forget about the.
Yeah, I don't honestly. So right now there's the grab net, like
Y'all haven't really done a tutorial yet. I mean, you kind of drafted
Sort of.
some ideas.
it gives
right?
you a controls tutorial kind of in the ArcGIS scene, but for this scene, honestly,
Yeah.
we
that's-
didn't make any kind of tutorial yet.
Yeah.
It
so-
just tells you to grab the net, but it doesn't tell you like how specifically. But that was
Right.
also before we introduced the two-handed one again. So yeah, it has to be updated at this point. But
don't worry about it.
okay,
But do put in your document, I think the key thing
Yeah.
that you're gonna need to do between this week and next week, is key documentation things for the next group. Like what are like the next steps that the next group is gonna have to do? And again, if it,
yeah,
you're gonna need to sort of make sure that in your documentation, and again, I think today, unless there's something that's drastic, you shouldn't have any more development. I mean, it's just really
yeah,
focused on the documentation, because again, it's one more week, all right? So focus on documentation. You want to think about what do you have to include in the documentation to make apparent for the next group. And in fact, what we could do is I'm gonna put this above these. I've got like December 3rd kind of listed here for
Okay.
next week, but I'm gonna put up at the top for the next CSE capstone. And again,
yeah.
I just put it in there. If you want to make another document and link it, that's
Okay.
great. Or if you want to just put it right there in the meeting notes, that would be good
I mean,
too.
it's
Whatever.
important for them to know to go into the documentation folder that I've got for it.
Right,
Right.
but again, the idea that next step is we're gonna need a tutorial, so, an initial rough prototype would kind of develop on the tutorial for the instructions for the web GIS. But again, things are still, it's functional, but it's not nothing's finalized yet, which is fine.
Mhm.
Remember, we want just to focus on functionability this semester, this
Mhm.
year. And like for this one too, we'll need to have a tutorial on how to, guide players to do the stream survey. So,
Yeah.
so that's something you're gonna want to add. You'll need to think about, so I don't know, again, we've talked about a little bit about the new character that's gonna replace
Mhm.
that character. So again, however far that you are now, leave enough documentation and information that the next group can take over with that.
I did documentation about the new character, like how to do them.
Okay, again, just make sure that it's easy to find
Yeah.
and again, if it's within I think you all are in the practice of doing it within your sprint reports, right? You have the links to all those documentation.
For the most part, for
Yeah,
the stuff that I made, they're a PDF, so I couldn't directly link it, I think.
yeah, I think what would be good though is, for where I put it here next capstone, I would just say here,
Yeah.
include links to all
I
documents.
mean, actually, I could make a link to it now that it's.
Because again, the more organized you can be
Yeah.
now, it's even be easier to help the transition. But what I don't want to have to do is, I mean, and typically every once in a while when we after we onboard the new students, sometimes we call one or two of y'all in to kind of join us for their first meeting, just to
Okay.
kind of give them a good overview. So, don't be surprised if you get an email from me that says for like first week or second week of February, hey, can you come to the meeting just to kind of help transition with the new group and give them a walkthrough. That's kind of what we typically do. Hopefully that time that we set up with them won't conflict with everybody else's schedule.
Okay,
What happened?
Yeah, that's what we typically do is we always try to get kind of get the previous group to kind of meet with the other group and
Yeah.
be available if there's some critical questions that they have to ask.
I feel like some of our documentation is like, I definitely linked your documentation and some of my documentation, so we
Yeah.
could like group it together in like one folder.
I also have that online.
Yeah, organization's critical. Yeah.
Some of them, it's like a 1-2 process, like, oh, I'll be like, this is how you make the maps, and then your documentation says this is how you import them in Unity.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I thought the
It's like-
documentation for the GIS was good. I kind of read through all that when I was drafting that paper. And
So our biggest concern is the onboarding for the ArcGIS.
yeah.
I think in
that's
terms
the-
of the VR stuff here, it's not as bad, but it's the ArcGIS stuff that's pretty
Yeah.
unfamiliar for people.
yeah,
like
Jeremy's
getting
a great
started with the-
resource. so.
yeah, they'll learn. We'll probably have it like with your group, we'll have 2 people.
And they also have to learn Unity in general, so
Yep.
probably expect what do we have, like 4 weeks to do that, I think?
Unity
Or, yeah,
tutorials we did in 1 week, but then
in what?
Yeah.
Probably like 4 weeks.
You got 2 weeks.
Okay,
Typically 2 weeks.
yeah.
like you just learn so much as you go too. It's not like the tutorials
Yeah,
are just the
a lot of-
beginning of.
A lot of what I learned was figuring
Yeah,
out.
the tutorials just to get you, used to the interface and some basic functionalities. Cool.
Professor Rusak said he was gonna talk about something at 5, he said he'll be here.
F5.
Yeah,
All right.
in a couple minutes.
There he is.
Oh,
There's Mike. We were just talking about you, Mike. They said you wanted to say something at 5 to everybody.
One of the things that I talked about with Maddox was the possibility of taking a credit independent study course somewhere within the same field he's working in right now. Is that something that would be amenable to the group?
Yeah, so we've been talking with Maddox a lot about finding ways to do some independent studies I think he wants to work with our group, with the LVSIF group. Yeah, I mean, do you have access to an independent study number?
I don't.
Okay, because I think where we are with Maddox, like,
Yeah.
did we get 6, you got registered for 6 credits with the EVST number?
yeah,
That-
well,
that-
I mean, I have to still actually register for it. I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
Yeah, let's do that, make sure there's no issues, because you should have clearance to do that.
But it's the other 3 credits, I don't know.
For the other, so what I did today for the other 3 credits was, I'm trying to get and I copied you to the email.
I saw what Bill said, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just hoping, he's gonna give me a section number of CINQ.
Yeah, I guess Professor Rusak was talking about they mentioned somehow doing work associated with with capstone, but I don't know if there's an independent study for that necessarily. If he doesn't have one,
Yeah, I don't know.
but I guess
Um,
that's what like the capstone heads were talking about, kind of.
like you're thinking about formatics working as part with the new group, or what was your thought? I mean, what's the thought process there?
I mean, that might be the thought process working with a new group. I'm not sure.
Maddox expressed interest in continuing to further develop the water activity that he's working with right now, so.
So working with them, so you'd be thinking about working with the
Yeah,
new
if there-
capstone group.
If that was
Mhm.
possible somehow.
I'll be interested in doing that.
Can I chime in with a couple of thoughts here?
Yeah,
So Al, is there anything through CINQ that would, because like we can't do an EDUC 495, like you'd have to,
No.
I mean, we could, but you have to petition and then get the override and all that. But is there
Yeah.
anything through CINQ that's like a one-on-one thing? I thought there were some flexible credits that could be done that way.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I think once Bill gives me, once I find out what our CRN number and capstone is for LVSIF,
Okay,
I think I should be able to do it. But again, he hasn't sent me anything yet, and you were copied to that email. So is Long in June. I don't know if Junior was copied that email today, but he was copied. Maddox was copied to that email to get.
okay.
I just asked, can you send me? I asked Bill straight out, can I get a CRN number,
Yeah.
for our section, and I did say Maddox is kind of an exceptional case.
Yeah. Okay, then my second question is just like, we definitely would want to think about how to, like, because you have a new cohort of students coming in and they need to kind of like, form as a group and figure things out. So if they kind of show up and they're like, oh, here's this more experienced person, I just need to kind of like, keep my head down and watch what they do. That's not quite the capstone experience. So
Right.
we'd want to think about what to do, what not to do, or maybe Maddox, like you'd be really great at helping with the onboarding stage, like how to help people ramp up with understanding Unity.
My thought process, like if I were to continue the capstone, basically I would probably just like how we're going to be making like the scenes for the locations. That might be like
Okay.
necessarily need to do, and yeah, I could help with onboarding, but like, yeah,
We should let the other capstone students should be doing that.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and we obviously, could figure that out after the other side could figure it out, but I just wanted to kind of put a flag on that. And, Maddox, you understand how these things can work. Just recognize there will be some places where you might say, oh, wait, I shouldn't do that. I should hang back.
Yeah.
So there will be some spots where you kind of want to work the clutch pedal a little bit.
Yeah, no, I think because the way the capstones work, I don't think that's as a good. I don't think you should do it for credit with the
Okay.
capstone. As I said earlier, what we typically do, like with flood adventures, is a classic example. Because we've had 3 cohorts on flood adventures so far.
Yeah.
And what typically happens is once we recruit the team and we get them into, usually it's the first 2 weeks, we say, here's access to the Unity tutorials, do the Unity tutorials. And then we have our first meeting. And what we'll do in that first meeting with those students is we'll invite you all to come in here and whoever's available at that time and give them kind of an under the hood session to basically show them what the project is, what's been developed, and kind of work through the next steps. That's kind of
Okay.
to help that transition. That's what we typically do.
Okay, yeah, we're just talking about some possibilities, so I mean,
Yeah.
as long as we get some kind of independent study set up,
Yeah, like I said,
working.
so you try to register for the EVST, make sure, because that shouldn't be an issue,
Okay.
the 6 credits. And then as soon as we hear back from Bill Whitney, I mean,
Yeah,
those guys he was away last week overseas
Okay.
somewhere. I got that email he sent everybody the other day saying, hey, you should get your teams today for our LVSIF groups.
yeah,
Today or tomorrow, all the students should know. And
all right,
he did say to us, Tom and Zalong, I don't know if you caught that in Junior, he said we got 4 people on our team, and I think we may have a 5th too. I think
wow.
Nam might have agreed to be on. There was an email from her today saying, yeah, I want to be on the river group. So we might actually have 5 in our group.
Okay.
In addition to our 4 continuing, we have a big group in the LVSIF next year.
But just to respond to Mike's original question, like, yes, absolutely, that'd be wonderful. Plus, other students who'd be interested in continuing, we'd love to discuss. Just need to figure out how we can make it happen. And then once we got the green light, how best to structure it.
Yeah.
I think I can speak for everyone when we're like really attached to their projects. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I wish I had time in my schedule for stuff, but I 17 credits already.
Yeah.
But I'd love to be involved in the onboarding.
Yeah. Great. We'd love to have it. And hopefully within the next couple, maybe next week, for semester ends or soon or in the beginning, so you'll get emails from us to go play Mystery of the Lehigh Gap and Flood Event. Flood Adventure, I think is in good shape right now.
Mystery, you can play it,
The capstone.
no red cap.
Yeah, we tested all the red cap, different versions, things are coming in today.
The only thing I need to is put the new final WebGL version back up with the sound fix for good. But
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
It'll be
Then we gotta do all this testing.
Then there's a red cap.
Yeah, we got test. Yep. All right. So anyway, back to this group. So we saw everything. You showed us all the updates, right?
Yeah.
Did you want to show us the poster too and get some
Yeah.
feedback on the poster? We're happy to do that. Good use of our time today.
Yeah, I guess we can talk about the design decisions there. Yeah. And
A lot of visioning with the
just
layout.
Google Slides really was
Yeah.
being picky. I
Yeah,
ignore
it's
that.
kind of collection multiple ones, but there's probably.
Yeah,
It's huge.
you just go to that. Okay.
Has everyone seen this?
Yeah, the Zoom thing is only in the way for us, I think. So yeah, we got the abstract on the left. And we decided it'd be good to have the big picture of the watershed there.
Yeah, that's nice.
Just to kind of showcase like, okay, here's what we're really doing and one of the main focuses. We thought having the Mecklenburg River survey, like the real life pictures was a nice touch there. Kind of as a also jumping point of like people coming up to us being like, okay, what exactly is like the main point here for the experience? With next steps in the bottom right there. And just kind of detailing like what we think the next cohort will be doing. And solution talks about what we were able to do, shows the two scenes. And yeah, there's motivation and conclusion down there. But I think we ended up laying it out pretty well. We're definitely happy with it. And the technologies looks good the way it's organized.
So in your conclusion of Unity game engine, it's minor. I mean, you can leave it as is, but it's actually called these days a real-time development engine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they changed that a
time to-
couple
I
of
see.
years.
I don't know if I can change it.
It's all right. It's not a big
It's
deal.
probably printed already, but
Yeah, it's fine.
I actually didn't know. I thought it was just, I always call it Unity game engine. It's good to know though.
And the text that's smaller will be
Easier to read. It has like
Easier to
actual,
read, that's
at least hopefully.
Yeah,
It always looks smaller.
it's nice.
Considering that the poster's gonna be around that size.
I mean, it's kind of gonna be around the size of that. How it is on the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe even less. Oh,
I think the only thing that's kind of hard to read is like the next steps text, but if you're actually like looking at it from
For
like
now, it might be
a couple
fine.
inches away,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's good. Yeah, I can't read the next steps, but everything else is fine. Yeah, I like the graphics.
Mhm.
So that one doesn't have the coal mines, but that's okay.
It's a little outdated, I guess, but
That's all right. Yeah, but
The legends
at least have
I
the,
mean, it is on the figure two. On the.
yeah, it is. Yeah. You got them.
but yeah, at least we have the new net and the
Yeah.
macro canvas there. Yeah.
Cool.
And I'm reading it over because the iron law of posters is that there's always a typo that you don't spot until you print it out nice and big. But thus far, I'm seeing some things where I might change the phrasing, but no typo thus far. So if I make it all the way to the end and there's no typo, then you all get gold stars.
Bert said they want feedback, they printed it all.
Yeah,
Oh, well. That's what it is, I guess.
Yeah, it was more just to show you because we had to submit it last week. So.
Okay. Yeah.
In that case, I'll stop reading.
it's definitely printed already.
Yeah. And so like I said, I got on my calendar for next Monday to call Ideal Office, get the store unlocked from 3 to 5 for
Okay.
Thursday. We'll maybe a few hours later, and then we'll so plan on having a headset hooked up here where you can demo. I think that's the thing to show as people come in. We'll have a few of our laptops set up for flood adventures.
We'll just make some minor changes to create a build that's
It's probably just
the
gonna
most
be
demoable too.
me in here, because everybody else has classes or can't make it or something
Okay.
going on that Thursday. So yeah, I'll be here. I don't have many laptops, so I'll be able to get for flood adventures either. Talk to those guys. Actually, flood adventure group, we're not even meeting beforehand, right? Oh. Out that computer, maybe mine, can take notes on that computer. Might just be a couple. Yeah, it'll be one of me. Yeah. Cool.
All right.
That's good. All right, anything else? That's
Pretty
it.
much
All
what I
right,
did.
so we'll knock off early then, and everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.
You
Yeah. Good. Go back to Zoom. Yeah, it's recording, yeah.
Where it says Zoom.
It's the bottom, it says Zoom.
You might have to expand.
Yeah, that's stop share, yes, click there,
Okay.
stop share. All right, bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, a good holiday. Take care all.
Too.
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Good.